Hello, my name is Brooklyn Tony, and this is the SLARP. It is a derivative of the SLAB blaster, or Silly's lever action blaster, but LARP. Some key features, of course, are the internal 5-round mag that feeds using stripper clips. These are not end block clips, these are stripper clips. It being over a meter long, it having an integrated B-car at the front, and of course the aesthetics, which make it look like a Russian contract Winchester M1895 rifle. Now, of course, you probably want to see how it works. The order of arms, of course, are you prime the blaster. The dust cover will open automatically. You take your stripper clip of 5 rounds, of course, in the right direction. It actually doesn't fit backwards. Well, unless your dart falls out. You feed and put the stripper clip in, thumb down, put all the darts into the mag, take and toss or put in your pocket the stripper clip, close the action, and you're ready to fire. Of course, you don't have to only use a stripper clip. You can just feed one dart at a time if you want to scavenge. When you're done, close the dust cover, and that's pretty much it. Now, of course, the aesthetics of this blaster are based off of the Winchester M1895, specifically the Russian contract ones. The history of these is quite interesting. Pretty much the couple 100,000 of these served for Russia during World War I because Russia was running out of their own natively built bolt-action rifles, so they went to US manufacturers, and the US, being neutral at the time, went, well, we'll make money off of it. And Winchester went, well, we can give you a lever action because that's what we have the tooling for, and adapt it to your caliber and make it take stripper clips, and Russia said yes. And so a couple 100,000 of these served for the Russians during World War I. That's where the aesthetics come from, including like the rear sight, how the handguard is, the bayonet lug. Yes, it was a lever action with a bayonet. The fake stripper clip guides, the fake hammer, and how long the stock is and the shape of the stock, and also the sling mounts. Now, I'm going to preface, before you go out and build one of these, I don't have a full build guide. I don't plan on making a full build guide for this. The files are posted on printables, and so is the list that you will need for hardware. Other than that, everything is up to you. I do have the step for this entire blaster derivative, so you can take that step, look at it, and change it if you really want to, or use it as a guide. But I will not be making a formal build guide for this. It's pretty self-explanatory. As I go over the blaster, I'll show you a few things about what goes where. Now, of course, probably you want to start with what changed. Well, a lot of stuff, actually. And before I get into that, this thing can only take 45 centimeter long barrels because of just how long it is. Nothing else would fit, and it's not really war practical anyway, so it only gets 150 FPS with a K25 or an SF25 TC. That's fine in my book. I designed this for me originally, so it was never going to be war practical. I just kind of wanted to look cool and be able to plink around with something that took stripper clips. Now, a lot of things changed. That means you cannot print this on some smaller printers, especially anything smaller than like a Bamboo P1S, X1C, A1. Because things like this front brown handguard, this thing is 250 millimeters tall when printed. And yeah, that's not going to fit on like an Ender 3 or anything. So sorry about that, but if you have the steps, so if you really want to, you can go and cut it up and figure something else out. Other things I changed the stock profile. Well, this whole mag system is actually special. This is basically a Thanlin. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Those 3D printed mags you can find that use drum springs. It's basically derived off of that, his work or her work, I don't know, their work, for how this mag, the follower and everything works. However, the way that the lips are my design. They're compliant mechanisms. So they are just pieces of plastic that bend out of the way. And there are 2 screws on each side, so you can change them if they ever wear out. But this mag has been pretty reliable. It feeds pretty damn well, especially since this is not a high rate of fire blaster and everything. I am not going to dry fire this. So yeah. Other than that, well, it has an integrated B-car up front, which is built into this plastic piece, which is your bright orange muzzle piece that also has the front sight. I don't know if I can get a shot, but yeah, the sights work. The rear sight has these 2 M2 screws. These are like the only different screws. Everything else is basically what you would find in your hardware kit, although you do need 1 more of these screws. But every other screw is the same screw that you would find in your standard SLAB hardware kit. Yes, this rear sight is adjustable, though it's not very practical for Nerf. Other than that, yeah, mine has this, I machined my own, this is a stainless steel plunger tube, which is very overkill and not necessary, but it looks cool, so why the heck not? But yeah, that's the SLARP. It's very long. Oh, it's very big. Oh, and these are actually QD swing swivels that you put in here. You can buy these off Amazon. They're like $5, $10 each. But yeah. And yeah, I'm using an M1 Garand sling. Fight me. I can't find anything better that's easily available without paying like $50. But yeah, this is a SLARP. Very LARPy, not practical at all to run in a war. But it feeds using stripper clips. What else is able to do that? Now, I've heard people also say they want me to adapt Cynthia. Which I actually have a Cynthia. What's that? A Cynthia with this system, but I don't know about that. We'll see. I have the files for it, so if someone really wants to, they can just take the Cynthia file set, take this part, graft it on somehow. I don't think it's, well, it might work. I'm unsure of how the mag would fit in here, but that's for someone else to figure out. But yeah, that's the SLARP. Files and the hardware list are on Principles. There's no formal build guide, again. You have to figure it out yourself, though it's not too hard. It's just a bunch of rods to hold pieces together. Longer rods obviously won't fit in. They're kind of self-evident about what's supposed to go where. And yeah, that's the SLARP. Happy blasting.